Hi, we're Doug and Stephany.
Hi.
Welcome to another video. Although this one's actually going to be an audio recording. So something that's happened a bit is that we've had sort of private talks with the Galactic Federation, and we did that the other day, and I just put my phone on the table to record, and just for our own benefit. And we've done a number of these, and it's been very informal and just like a conversation or chat. And they suggested that we do this kind of thing as well as the other videos you've seen so far, because Stephany's more relaxed in that way. She doesn't feel like she's performing for an audience on YouTube, for example. And so we're just having our own chat. And this one I thought was pretty fascinating because we got into dreams and what they're about. So I know it's really long, but I have divided this up into chapters so you can go to different things. So we just start off talking about channeling, and then we move into dreams. And that was their own segue, because it just happened that the night before I'd had a dream that made me really moody and crabby, and they can't infringe on free will, so they kind of just brought this into the conversation. And so straight away, I go, and I laughed that they brought up dreams, because I knew that they knew. And so we talked about how helpful dreams can be. And we also talked more about channeling. We talked about, sort of brushed on technology concerns that I have, but there are lots of little interesting tidbits that came up, and just thought if anyone was interested to listen through, there's a lot to learn amongst things that might be more specific for, say, Stephany or I, but there were some really good things. And in fact, the things that were applying to us, I was thinking back and saying, well, this would apply to anyone. So it was like, it might have seemed like they were saying this is what you could do as general guidance or advice. It really is not just for me, it's what everyone could do. So I really hope, even if it's a very long session, we have these long conversations, but if you don't listen to it all at once, maybe remember where you're up to and continue on at another time, because you will get something out of it. We cover a lot of topics because we're just having a chat and conversation and bringing things up. And so this started probably after our second session, where Stephany was still we went for a walk, and we were just sitting out on some rocks by the harbour here in Sydney, and we were thinking about that session, and we're saying, I wonder if whatever, asking these questions, and they just started answering through Stephany, and we were just having a conversation. They just came through and said, "But you're here, how can we do this?" And just with Stephany, with her normal voice, just talking, and they said, well, we were always able to do this, but if they did that right from the start, then Stephany would just think that's her own thought. So they really had to take control of her body and move it in the way that was very difficult. And so she could really tell it was not her. She absolutely knew 100% this was not her. So we ended up having a chat. We were talking for a while, and then they invited me to turn the phone on and just record it. And so we would have had about an hour and a half at least of recording from that walk, and a lot more that was not recorded. And we came home even that same afternoon and continued on here at home talking. And we even had Archangel Michael come through and explain that in that second session it was interrupted because Stephany had doubts. You set the intention, I'm going to talk to Archangel Michael, and all of a sudden your voice is saying, I am Archangel Michael, and you're gonna have, really, I mean, it's what I want, but
yes.
So you're gonna. So,
proud of us.
Yeah, and so like you and then it just cut out, and that was it. But Archangel Michael is one of my close guides. Apparently, has helped me quite a bit over many lifetimes, or something. We have some sort of close relationship there. But he was able to speak completely through Stephany, and pretty much said the same guidance that the Galactic Federation had given me anyway, but it was we were able to make contact, and they said, you know, continue talking to the Galactic Federation, they're your soul family. So this is just how we first started having these conversations. And Stephany, they've told her she should be kind of checking in every day, because otherwise we had let it go a couple of days, and they say you start to lose it's not so easy to keep the connection going if you let it go too long. So they encourage, even if it's just for single questions or little things like that. And so when we did this conversation, it was because I'd said, okay, we better check in and say hello, but we don't really have anything to talk about. We can at least say hello and check in, but they said, as they say, there's always something to talk about, and we did talk for about an hour and a half in the end, and it was very interesting. And I thought, well, okay, there won't be any video for this one, but I think it would be great to listen to.
Yes, there was a lot of information that we didn't expect. Yes.
Not much else to say, you know. And there was one point there where you might think, well, we said, what was that? You know, we had this really weird noise out the window that I've never heard before, and we had to stop for that. So people might wonder what on earth that was. And I said, I have no idea what that was, but there was a noise out the window. And they did say at one point, we feel she needs to do this, so that she was doing this for a little bit with her eyes. We had a funny explanation in one of these other chats where they were describing just how much they control her body, and they were showing me by standing her up and sitting her down, and all her hand movements that she makes is them. They're doing all the hand movements. And so they're explaining sometimes she has an itch, so they get the hand and do that. They feel like she wants to scratch somewhere.
Yes. So they are connected, and they know when I'm feeling, you know, certain, let's say like an itch, and therefore they just help me with that. Let's say in that moment.
Yeah. But anyway, and I know you haven't said much.
No, for this. It's all good.
But really, that's all there is to say as an introduction. Just to say, this will be an audio only recording, and if you're interested, great. There's a lot of things I learned in this. It was very informative, and they have suggested that we do this kind of thing. We were just sitting on the floor on a futon with a little table in our pajamas, and we just sat down and we're just going to check in. So that was very informal.
Yes.
But they suggested that we do that kind of thing. We could sit down and just have a chat instead of the formal questions that you know we're coming up with as well.
Yes, they say that it is a way to help me as well with my progress and with my own doubts. And confidence. Therefore that's why we are doing it, and it is a progress.
Yeah. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy the video.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello. We're just checking in to say hi.
Hi. We're so happy to have you back.
Happy to be back.
Our energies are matching with yours.
Okay. Yeah, we're feeling happy today, and yeah.
Yes, we can see an improvement in the energies of the two of you.
So,
you know, as you're aware that there are energies that is expanding outside your physical body. This energy, let's say, of light around you will increase and decrease according to how you feel or your so-called emotions. And how well you are connected to yourself or higher self and your body, your human body. When you are in alignment, let's say this energy expands and radiates more light, let's say. So it is also easy to match to that frequency and that energy. We have worked with this instrument as well. When her energy level has decreased, it had been a little bit harder, let's say. Not too hard, but a little bit complicated to reach to her, where her energies have been a little bit low. We are still able to do so as we are all connected and as the two of you are aware of your true self. However, it is good for your own self and for the connection to elevate your energies and trying to maintain that.
Yes. So we can't hide our feelings from you?
No. What you say does not matter because we not interpret your words. What we're trying to say is that we do not see you just by what you say. We see you by who you are and by your energy, as you want to call it, or your light, let's say. It's like a radiator, let's say. We're able to detect when your energies are low or high, when you are more aligned with your true self or where you are detached from it.
Yeah. I'm feeling better today.
We are happy to hear that. Anyway.
I've been reading and Stephany's learning English.
Yes, we are scanning her mind and her brain.
A few new words you can use.
Inevitable.
Thank you.
It is inevitable for Stephany to stop doing this teaching, as it is part of her now. Is this correct?
No, it's the opposite. Inevitable means it's going to happen and there's no way of stopping it.
She has to clarify some ideas then.
Yes, okay. It's inevitable that she will do this work now that she enjoys it.
That's what we meant.
Yes, okay. Yeah. No, that's right.
We are able to recall or to get the words that she knows. But if the meaning of the words are not clear, we can't do much about it. Because we sense and we can use the words and translate to the meaning that we want to give. So according what the words mean in her mind, let's say, we will use them to match the frequency that we are using to give the thought of idea that we want to communicate.
I understand, yeah. But if that word's not right, then she'll say the wrong thing. But she's learning though. She is going to improve her English, and it's already good.
Even she might have words that she knows, but she does not know the meaning.
Yeah.
But if she thinks that's okay to use for what we're sending, then it will be used.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. I'm sort of I guess I can check this. I sort of know. I'd be able to tell if that was not quite right, I think, in a lot of cases. So, but so far it's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah.
Yes, it is. For now. It can get a bit, let's say, tricky when we want to expand on an answer or when we would like to say things in a different way or more specifically. The words are limited, but the words that she has are enough to be able to transmit or give a message clear enough. And it is good in a way because her way of translating things into your human language is very simple.
Yes.
So therefore, for your own audience, it is good, as complex words like used in other channelers can make your own kind confused. However, some other channelers will love that, or the audience will love that, because they can see that it's not coming from their own self, but actually from the higher source where they're getting the information from. But because of what we explained before, she is conscious at the moment. And even though we are not giving, let's say, the messages a few seconds, let's say, in advance, she's just talking right now without getting anything previously. We are still using her own words. So as we become one with her, she will, let's say, not be able to hear things in her head, and the words will just come through. She is still close to us, but as we integrate as one, words would flow to her, and she would not have the chance to think about it. At some level, she might still be able to as she hears a question, but as we become more integrated with herself, then we will be able to come through without, let's say, bringing the thoughts into her mind first.
Yeah, that's fine. And so one of the things I've wondered about was whether she should be avoiding reading what other people are saying, so that she would know that what she's saying is true. But sometimes there are common terms that everyone understands, and she may need to know them so that you're able to articulate those same expressions that people have heard of, and she may not know them.
And she knows that. She's been reading the so-called book Pleiadians of Bridges of the Dawn or something like that she has set because of wanting to learn the words that I use, which also can bring confusion to her, thinking that what she's getting is from something that she read rather than that is coming from us. So it could be so let's say 50-50. She might learn the terminologies that I use mostly in this kind of, let's say, work or communication with extraterrestrials, as you might call it, but at the same time she's not trusting enough that what she's saying, it's not just something that she read. With a lot of, let's say, the materials that you have read will match with the things we have said. So therefore, even though it is coming from her, she might feel that it's something that is been in her head. But at the same time, it is in her brain. It's been recorded because she has learned it. And at the same time, it's us using the word from where she has learned it, because it makes sense for us to use them as we can find them and find it appropriate to do so. So it is an integration there of believing and letting go, and at the same time learning more, so to improve the communication with us at the same time. So there's no problem for her to learn more things, let's say, or to read more to expand her confidence. But at the same time, when she feels that it might cause some issues or doubt, she could stop doing so and then come back and read more when she feels confident again.
Yeah, sounds like a good solution to it. But at least the answers she's giving, even if she thinks it's coming from her mind, would be good answers. So go with it. You know, why would it be different from what she's read if they're from good, reputable channelers?
Because it's the same information anyway, let's say. It is just that as her reading expands and her vocabulary expands, then more words are recorded in her brain. And as the words that she have read are recorded, we're able to use that as we find them more suitable for the message that we want to deliver to your species.
Yeah, and that's why I think she needs to know a bit of something, because she got very confused about the harvest yesterday. She just didn't know what she was saying.
Yes, as she did not know about it, she could not trust enough because she did not know whether the information given was right or wrong. And that's a lack of confidence, because she needs to believe that she needs to know it first before hearing it from us, just in case we make some mistakes. She will be able to adjust to what she have read previously.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's part of the controlling issue that she also have and had in the past. So it's about trusting in the unknown, where she had faced some issues and continues to do so in a way.
Okay.
It's just the feeling of needing to control everything that is around, feeling that she can move forward. Let's say take a step forward before the event happens, just to ensure that it is how she wants the event to be.
Yes. Yeah.
And that had happened with other people as well, or even wanting to control other people. That's where also the judgment comes from. Because as she realizes that she cannot have control over others, then the judgment increases as people have different beliefs and will not match her own beliefs. And there comes from the wanting to change them, so therefore there won't be the judgment.
Yes. Yeah.
She is realizing all of this on her own pace, and she had just let's say 25 minutes ago that she will let go as when she was having her shower.
Okay. Yeah, I think she'll get better at that.
As we had said 25, she had put the doubts because it looks like it's been longer than that. And the numbers not specifically needs to be right at the moment, and that's what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah.
As soon as something is asked, or if we want to say specifically, she wants to put a bit of input. And so
I wonder if something was completely unknown to her and she knew it was unknown and there was no way of being able to manipulate it, because she really doesn't know, whether she would be more trusting in that situation than when she...
Not at the moment.
Yeah, okay. So, because she would know roughly what time she was in the shower, and, so she can question those sorts of things because she has some sort of knowledge. But I thought whether there was something she really didn't know, she would just go with it because I don't know. This is all I've got, so this is all I'm going to say.
Yes, but even though that she might not know, it's just the question whether, that doesn't sound right.
Okay.
But she is improving, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because she is intending to. So she'll go longer and longer, I think, before she then says, oops, now the doubts come back.
Yes. And she is realizing the doubts too. And more are coming to the surface as she did not know.
Okay.
Even through the so-called dreams, in different situations where she sees herself doing certain things and reacting in certain ways. We know that she's very attached to the meaning of dreams. She's very attached to wanting to know what a dream could mean. Very attached, we say that as a way of expressing that it sticks in her head for a long time, wanting to describe what happened and why it happened. And if it was just the so-called dream, or if it was something else. So there have been dreams that it has being put, let's say, when she is in that stage, just to help her as well to bring those things that are inside that she might not know or realize, and to bring them to the surface so she can explore about it.
Okay.
And same goes with you, my friend. It is not about the event that has happened in your dream, but it's most about the feeling in your dream, and that much is something that it's inside you that it might need a bit of work. But because when you are aware and conscious, you cannot think clearly, or you cannot admit, let's say, that something like that is going on inside. So the dream is a way to bring those things on top of the surface and make you realize. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just about helping in the process.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much, in a way as well, you working with your own self and working with your fears.
Yeah.
And working with your angers or situation that will put you into those stage, you know, in an anger stage.
Yes.
A state or insecurity and trust situations, things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And when you have those dreams, it's not for you to get, let's say, down or believing that it could happen.
No.
Or it might be the wish and the desire of the other person involved, because actually the other person is not involved at all. It's your own self projecting your own fears.
Just all me.
Yes, or your own insecurities or doubts.
Yeah.
It's you working with yourself.
Okay.
It is using what's there inside to bring it up, and a way of saying, hello, there is something else here for you. that it needs your attention.
Yes, okay.
So it is a work of your own self doing so.
Okay. I'll look into that then.
With every entity. And as we gather or we understand that there are some things still going on, as we can sense because of the magnetic energy, let's say, then in a way, working with your own self and higher self, it can in a way be influenced. Working with your own energies, like your fears and so on. And because in that stage you're so relaxed and you are disconnected from your human body, then your spirit, let's say, becomes one with your higher self at times. So it is the time where it can be, let's say, a work can be done to help you in your awakened hours.
Okay.
And it is put in your unconscious mind. Because you are in that unconscious state, but you're still able to remember when you wake up.
That's very useful.
It is.
I will do something about that. Yeah, okay. After the last night's dream.
We know. Dreams are a mechanism to help your humanity within their own self. What we're trying to say is dreams are a reflection of your own self. It can project what is going on with you without you really realizing or accepting. So you then, when you wake up, you start analyzing dreams with your human mind. And your human mind will bring another meaning to what you have seen. When you are still, let's say, connected with your spirit when you're just waking up, but not really awake, let's say, there is more possibility that the true meaning, it might come to you, or you might describe the dream in a different way.
Okay, but it's always the emotion that you are trying to notice.
That's where you want to work on. Because you are experiencing something, let's say, in a different place, let's say, of dimension, if you want to call it, okay, because you are out of your body, but that is just, let's say, as a holographic. Yeah, it's just a holograph.
Yeah, that's fine.
That is happening, right? To help you. You are helping yourself by doing that.
Yeah.
Let's say. It's not like it is happening elsewhere, and it could be a potential, and therefore you feel afraid that it could be a potential, and if the frequency matches, it could happen. Dreams, either when they're negative and positive, could have an influence on your emotion, and it depends on how you react, or it depends what your emotions are. Depend on that, then depending of the emotion, it will vary the effect on of the dream in your awakened and physical state. I'm not sure whether that was clear.
Not quite at the end. Just at the end.
We're trying to paraphrase.
Yeah.
So, let's say you have a negative dream and you have a positive dream. In the negative dream, you end up with a negative emotion waking up.
Yes.
Right? So when you wake up feeling the so-called shitty or moody or what so, therefore that emotion is to be worked on if you think it in that way. But your human mind most of the time will not allow you to think that way because it is not rational or understandable. Most of the time will be just a dream. But because you're holding that emotion, therefore that emotion will have an impact on an effect on your physical reality, because you're gonna carry that emotion around, and what you do is gonna be affected because of the energy or the frequency that you are on, because of the emotion you felt in a dream.
Yes. So you're attracting on that frequency.
Yes, you are attracting on the emotion, not actually on the dream, but
yes.
Because the dream caused an emotion and you carry that emotion, therefore you're attracting according to the emotion.
Okay, I understand.
Whether the dream with that emotion couldn't be just a representation of something within your own self.
Yes.
Such as you already had the fears that you have seen or you dream, or maybe inside you still have that sadness or anger for something else, and it has been brought up, let's say, and it's been shown up in your dreams for you to do something about it.
Yeah, deal with it. Yeah.
Yes, but it has been taken in a different way, and you dwell on the dream thinking that it could be a potential, thinking that that dream could become a reality, and you might draw the potential, let's say, of the dream as a reality, but it doesn't mean that you will draw the dream as a reality, but something to do with with the feeling that you felt in the dream.
I see.
So not necessarily mean that the dream might become a reality, but it's to do with the feeling that you felt in the dream.
I get it.
That it might have an impact on what you are manifesting in your waking hours.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, to release those.
And the same thing goes with your positive dreams and thoughts. Your dreams. So when you are dreaming and you are in a state, let's say, of ecstasy or happiness, and you're feeling so good, and you wake up feeling so good because of the dream, then you carrying a frequency of that emotion. And therefore what you're going to manifest is not what it was on the dream specifically, but what it is because of the emotion. So you are therefore in a different frequency because you woke up and you put attention to your dream. Now, if your dream is so good that you want to manifest what it was in your dream, then you start thinking about it and putting time onto that dream, and then that dream becomes a potential reality that you can match up.
Yeah.
Because what you think you create, if you want so, it's what your heart desires. So if you desire what you have seen in your dream and it was so real, then it can happen. But you have to put the intention and say that that's actually a potential or a reality somewhere else.
Yeah.
And you're just going to match up with that frequency by feeling what you felt in your dream.
Yeah.
And you keep that feeling with you in your waking hours. But you don't do so just because you want to match your dream or make your dream a reality, but because you just want to feel that emotion. And then you start imagining as that dream is a potential, or it actually happened and it is true. And when you affirm that it's true, then it is true, and that means that you can match that. And therefore you start feeling as it's already have been, as it's been a reality, as it's something that you already had.
Yeah.
Like winning the lottery,
which
let's
I
say.
did in my dream last year, and so I know what it feels like to win $60 million, because people don't know, but I thought it was real. I was shocked when I woke up. It was so real.
If you intend and if you put the intention that that dream was real and don't see it as the dream anymore, but as an action, let's say something that has happened, regardless whether in which dimension it was, but it happened, and that means that it's true, therefore you can match up to that. But now you have to accept that it wasn't a dream. Now you accept it as a reality, and you feel what it felt, and you can see it as a complete let's say desire or manifestation, because what you believe it is so.
But most of the time, most days I'm happy. I'm a happy person, but I don't usually have happy dreams. I don't understand that. It must be now that there are things there that I'm just being aware of that get brought up. I always sort of feel a bit weird in the dream. Maybe the feeling tends to be a bit weird or unusual or unfamiliar. These sorts of emotions I get in dreams, like I don't know where I am and it sort of feels weird. But not very rarely do I have a dream where I'm really happy about something. So I tend to have and like last night it was an unhappy dream. But I can be happy during the day, but wake up in the morning from dreams that we're really not happy at all.
That's because as you start ignoring your dreams, more dreams to tell you something will keep happening in different ways, with different personalities of different characters to trying to grab your attention and say, hey, there might be something else happening here. Because it's a pattern. If you have more of the constant dreams, we mean not necessarily the same event, but you end up with the same sort of emotion, that there might be something there going on that is trying to grab your attention to trying to work on.
Yeah, well, I'm aware of that now. think a bit more about the emotion that I feel and
Dreams-
see what it relates to.
Yes, dreams are subjective, my friend. Dreams are not really like, say, a reality happening right now. Yes, you are out of your, let's say, your human body, and you can experience things, but you are experiencing things as you create them as well. And if there's something in your mind that it's going on and it's not right, your own self, when it's out, will want to help you by experiencing certain things that you see that as dream. And with a bit of help, let's say, from your own guides, and so could be as well. So it could be more specific on trying to make you feel in a certain way to help you wake up about something that is going on.
Yeah.
Some other times you might have dreams when it feels nothing, because maybe at the time you're more in peace, or it just might want to show you to be more in peace, just to feel nothing, let's say.
Yeah, it can be like nothing in particular, but either it's just usually I'm in unfamiliar places where I feel sort of unfamiliar, it just feels a bit weird or uncertain, but
that could be too about trusting the unknown as well.
It could be
just about let it go and come with me and enjoying this unknown place that is not known to you.
Yeah,
let's just experience what it feels to experience something new.
Yeah,
that is not within your own mind or your own physical world.
I can see that now.
It could be more, hey, I would trust myself and cross this river, and I don't know what will be on the next side, but I will just go with it. And if I drown myself, I do so and die, and so what? I wake up.
If I know I'm dreaming, yeah. That's right.
Or even so, if you don't know you're dreaming, if you're drowning yourself, you will react in a certain way that will bring you an emotion.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe when you're doing that and you feel, I don't care, I give up, and you just let yourself drown yourself, that could be also mean something to you.
Right. Okay.
Which means you don't really, let's say, care what really happened to you. But if you really want to strive for life and do so, you will try to swim.
Yeah.
So are subjective. They could mean something to you.
Okay.
Like this entity dreams a lot with water because she has fear to be in the water. In the ocean, she has fear of dying in the water. Because why? That is the place that she feels powerless, let's say. That's the place where she feels she doesn't have control. And she will not be able to control what happened if she is in that situation. So for her could be not only the fear of dying in the water because she doesn't have anything, but it's the fear of becoming, let's say, uncontrollable, I wanted to say, or we wanted to say, but that's not...
In a situation she can't control?
Yes, that's more clear. So what I wanted to say that does dream might be a representation of, or her fear of not being able to control situations.
Yeah.
And that could lead us working on trusting.
Right. Okay.
What we mean is, because she has this fear of water or dying in the water or not being able to do something about it because of her own physical abilities, that she's not able to so-called swim. But even if she was able to do so, the fear is still there because she doesn't know what is in the ocean.
Yes.
She doesn't know what would be under her when she's breathing out.
Yes.
Her head is out and her feet or half of the body is inside and she can't see. She cannot see what's there.
We all worry about that. And I can swim.
So because she can't see what's there,
Yeah.
she doesn't have the control to know what to do.
Sure.
And she feels that in her life she needs to see ahead. She needs to see where she is at, to feel that she can manipulate certain things. So when something else happens, she could be a step forward.
Yeah.
And that is also could be because of the lack of trusting. Because if you, let's say, if you truly know who you are and that you are connected with everything, and even though you have worries, but your worry was being taken care of, even though they might seem as nothing is happening, but things happen in your linear time where it meant to happen. But if you truly trust that things are just going to work out, let's say, there is no need to, let's say, plan ahead to have a step ahead before the event. We're not saying that it's bad to plan plan ahead or to plan your so-called future, which does not exist. Everything is just potentials, and you match to that. But if you like to do so, that's great. But if you're constantly thinking ahead, just because it feels secure, then ask yourself whether you are truly trusting in your own powers.
Yeah.
Are you truly trusting that you have to constantly be thinking ahead? And that could be the end, let's say, of the purpose of however you want to call it, of a dream. So see how it is nothing related to the words, but how it can lead to something else.
Yeah.
If your mind is open enough to see it that way.
Yeah. And it helps also, we've had guidance from you as well, saying, you know, like we have self-doubt, and there are other things that have come up too with trust and believing in yourself. So these dreams, that becomes more obvious now. You know, it's more obvious that, oh, now I get it. Yeah, that can relate to that, and yeah, so it's more obvious now. So
yes, it is. Dreams can also be fun. You know, because maybe that's what you're feeling inside too, and therefore you are projecting that in your dreams too. You're feeling fun, you're feeling peace, you're feeling happy. Or when you are worried as well, that could also be projected into your dreams.
Yeah.
But just use that as a tool, let's say. Even if it does not make sense at first, but just trying to see how do you feel about it. And what could mean. There's no wrong or right, or there is not a specific thing that it means, but it might just be a way to help you to sort something out.
So in the case of maybe you feel an emotion, if I felt an emotion but I couldn't really pin it on anything, is there something I could just send love to the emotion, or just somehow relieve it so that I'm not carrying it around? Without saying, I'm not sure what this is, but I don't want to feel like this. Would that help heal that, or do I really need to realize what is missing or causing it?
It will help to know then, inside you, let's say, what is the situation that it could be causing. Especially we're talking about special negative feeling, because when you're feeling the positive feelings, you usually do not, your species usually do not question too much. But it's mostly when you have feeling negativity inside. Then if you can calm down and see what the dream could mean, that's great. But if you're not able to do so, just think about what could be something that is affecting you. Maybe be honest and see what could be there. And if you don't know, just make a statement and say, for example, you know, I am aware of this emotion at the moment. I am aware that I'm feeling, let's say, sad, and so or whatever it is that you feel like. I'm aware that I'm feeling that right now, and I'm aware of what I'm feeling in my physical body. Like usually when you have a feeling, it might cause something, another feeling, or it is connected to your body. You know, like when you feel angry, you might feel your tummy so tight or something. So therefore you can say, I'm aware of it. Become aware of what you are feeling within your body. Not necessarily what could be the cause. If you can find, doesn't matter, but now you're focusing on releasing the emotion. So just say, I'm aware of what I'm feeling, and I'm aware that is because there's something that is causing that pain of that sadness. And because I'm aware of it, I'm also aware that I'm able to make choices. And I'm aware that by making choices, I have the power. Because the power is within me. Because I am the power. Because I am one with the Creator. And by being aware of what I'm feeling right now, I am aware that I can make the choices I want. And I make the choices to feel happy. Now, I make the choice to let go of this feeling. I'm aware how it feels to be sad. I was feeling it, and I was feeling in my body. Thank you. Thank you, because I know how it is. And now that I've learned, I choose to be, let's say, the opposite, to feel the opposite emotion, or to feel to feel grateful, to feel joyful. And you know what? It's actually funny, let's say, you know. This is just fun, because even though I don't know what caused it, and I don't need to look in there, I don't need to go and look for something. I just know that the result of whatever was this emotion. So, hey, thank you for that. But now I don't need it, because I found that inside somewhere maybe that was this emotion going on. But now that it's in the surface and I'm aware of it, I can let it go. And I let it go by admitting and becoming aware of it, and now choosing and saying that I want this. I want to feel happy, and I am happy because I am a being of love and light.
That's very self-empowering. That sounds really empowering. Yeah. Okay, I'll remember that. I always feel
so
good.
So you don't need to go and look for what it was.
Yeah.
But if you can become aware of it, great. But if by doing so might put you down, let's say, by looking into a specific and going and search what could it be, could have been from my past life, or could have been from last summer, let's say, or yesterday, was something that she said that made me upset, was something that I felt, was something my mother, was something. Doesn't matter. If that's gonna let's say put your energy down and lower as you start searching, then it's too much time going on. You're putting too much time on that.
Yeah.
Do not put too much time on those things, trying to find things, because what it could happen is, as your energy goes down, let's say, then it will become harder for you to go up again.
Yes.
So if you don't know what it is, just become aware of your surroundings and what is happening right now. And what is happening right now is what you're feeling right now and what your body is telling you, because your body is talking to you. And say, hey, you know what? You're feeling this emotion. Become aware of it. I'm trying to help you here. You're feeling this tightness around here, and that means something. I want you to listen to me. So become aware of what you're feeling from the tip of your toes to your head and the tip of your fingers. Feel if your body is feeling split, split of energy. If you're feeling tiredness, let's say, if you're feeling tight, let's say your chest, you feel tightness in your chest, or your heart is bumping so fast, or you feel tight, a tight sensation on your tummy, or anything, and the emotion that is coming with moodiness, as this child says, shittiness.
Oh, thanks for talking about dreams, because it has been making me moody all day until recently.
Yes, and she can sense that. You do not need to talk about it, but she knows that something is going on. It's because in being in the head of both of you, then there was a way. We found a way to bring this up.
Okay. It's all planned. Okay. But
we
it's very
do not
useful.
infringe,
No.
or we always try not to. But if there is something we want to say to both of you to help you, there also would be a way.
Yeah. And
If you allow
I want
so.
that, definitely. No, that's been really helpful for me. Thank you.
As you know, as this child is saying, one thing can lead to the other.
Yeah.
So as the conversation starts, something can lead to something else, and then something else, and then, hey, the teaching is there.
And you managed to throw in inevitable as well.
Yes, we are sorry that we're not using it in the correct word.
That's
As she was afraid of that too.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not your fault. But it's fine now. Yeah. No, that's been really good. More work for me to do, but good work. Fun work. Healing.
Yes, it is not work.
No.
It is just a process of becoming aware of those little things that your human mind blocks. Because of the part of your brain, the reasoning part, always trying to make sense of things, and usually focusing on what is obvious. But not everything is so obvious, let's say. Like in your dreams, you see something, but it doesn't mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that what you're seeing is what it is.
Okay.
There could be a meaning for something else if you want the dream to have a meaning as well. Because you might just say it's a dream and you just ignore it. But your own self is always trying to help you in any way. And by your own self and higher self, we also mean your guides, and we also mean us, because we are one. So there are different ways that your guides will try to get to you. And by guides, we mean all of your guides, including us. Not everything has to be so obvious, like what she's doing now. It's so obvious that she's allowing us through. And you might say, but why not? That is easy. It's easy when it's clear. It's easy when it's obvious. But that's the fun of it too. Don't you think?
I think so. There's different things. It can. I love the ease that I can get the message from here instead of guessing whether it was really me and all of that. But there's still a journey there to enjoy if in the end I fully trust myself and I went through the process and I said, okay, I didn't just rely on that, but now I've empowered myself with my own, new power and trust and self-love, all these things that I've developed myself through my own work, the word work that we're using. Yeah, but the other thing too is, I guess the dreams are really bringing things very deep, because I was troubled by the dream itself without knowing I had this particular emotion inside of me, or whether it was either a fear of that specific thing I dreamt about, or whether it's just an emotion I'm carrying in there. I didn't realize that I had it, but the dream brought it there, and then I end up feeling it most of the day. So
Now it is your choice. Now that you are aware of it, it's about you taking that choice and bring your energy back to the level that usually is.
yeah, that's it. And I have to.
And as you could think back, let's say you have repetitive dreams in the same way, using this entity as a character in situations that you would not like. Because in a way, your fears or something inside you that you don't like has been used, let's say, to take it, to use it as a guide to project or to let you know that something else could be there. And because that situation will upset you too much, then perhaps you will be able to see more than the actual dream.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And it doesn't mean, my friend, that all you have inside is just that. No, it doesn't. What it means when you have this kind of dreams, it could be that because you're also in the process of releasing and letting go and working towards yourself, then your guides are working together with you too, trying to help in different ways to also improve, let's say, or make your process, let's say, faster, which it doesn't really exist because everything exists now. So faster or sooner or later, it does not matter to us, but it does matter to you. And that's something as well that it's inside you, because you want things fast, let's say. You want this process to be fast. So you also have to come down inside and say, the time is perfect. And things happen when you're ready for it. Or not ready in the way that now you are sort of ready to experience it. Not that. But what we mean is that things slowly or rapidly, it doesn't matter, become what they have to be when they have to be too. And there is a reason for it.
Sure. And my higher self will choose which thing I'm going to be working on or present to me. Is it a joint decision subconsciously, or is it just the higher self working with me?
It is everyone working with you.
Okay.
Because your higher self, as your higher self can see more than what you can see and is connected to your guides, then everyone can sort of, let's say, help you and see what is the way to get through your human mind.
Okay. And if someone's aware of this, so I guess a lot of people are asleep to that dreams can have meaning or benefit. If someone's awake to it, does that then make it much easier for the guides to pick things, that might be more symbolically recognizable by the person, to make it easier to work through these issues?
Yes, if they can see and recognize there is something triggering, let's say, a certain dream or a certain pattern of dream, and therefore end up with the same emotion every time, therefore that can be used to help the entity.
So even if I had my own conscious symbols, if I believed this means that, then when dreams could be created that they know I would recognize it.
That's something that you can have an agreement with your own higher self.
Okay.
So you can put the intention that when you dream this will mean this.
Yeah, because that would make things much easier.
Yeah, but sometimes, my friend, you cannot see further than when your higher self can see. So you might use something as a symbol, and you want to say, I want to dream with this person if I'm happy, or I want to see this in my dreams to let me know that I'm sad, But then there might be other symbols that can have a better impact on the feeling.
Right. Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
so when you are dreaming, the feeling will be stronger, and by being stronger, you're more able to perceive it and see it and remember it when you are awake.
I get it. Yeah.
You can use some symbols if you want, but another thing that could happen is that people get hung up when those symbols are not show up.
Sure.
And a lot of time it's because they can't remember those symbols. Because a part of your, let's say, journey when you're sleeping, you are conscious for some time, but then you're not, and then in your waking hours, when you're just waking up, you become conscious again, and you just might remember a little bit of what happened truly. So therefore some people, let's say, can get confused and mixed up with, hey, I only saw this symbol and I didn't see enough, and it's just because they're not able to remember everything, and they put pressure on themselves. And also, when they got to bed, they're so much hung up on wanting to see the symbols and wanting to see the symbols that they build that pressure inside. So when they don't see that, and that could be also because your own guides might decide that it's not convenient at that time because of what you're actually feeling at the moment, and going to bed feeling that already, about being so she has the word chaotic, but
But hung up on
hung up on that thing, that therefore that won't be helpful, you know.
Yeah, I understand, and in the end, I tend to remember or get stuck with the feeling more than the dream anyway.
Yeah, because the feeling is such an important key for your humanity. It's the doorway to the unknown, to your true self, to your guides, to your creations, to the other dimensions as well. Because once you're able to realize that your feelings are not in control of you and you are in control of them, it's a big thing for your humanity. It is a process, and you can go up and down during the day, and that's okay. They don't need to put pressure on yourself, but just realize, be aware. Just the fact that you're aware and not emerge as one with your feelings, but you actually observing your feelings. That's a big step. Because when you're able to see, let's say, your your emotions as let's say as a third person, and you are observing them, you're able to be aware of that feeling, and therefore you're able to change it as you wish. Because you're not one. When you're one, it's like you're looking through the eyes of your emotion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
So when you are one, let's say, with your higher self, you are looking at the world through your higher self eyes, let's say.
Yeah.
So you're able to see more peace, you're able to see more joy, you're able to see more happiness, and you're more grateful, and you have so much gratitude for everything, and you enjoy everything you do, and you're able to see and to react differently, because now you're not looking through your human eyes, but you're looking through your higher self eyes, let's say, which obviously it's a connection, and it's an energy, let's say, and it's a frequency, however you want to call it. It's nothing, doesn't mean like your physical eyes, but it's just an expression that it is used. So you also become one with your emotions, let's say, if you're not aware of them, and that's why you react. If you are, let's say, sad or angry, and you don't see your emotions separately from you, you are seeing through the eyes of your emotion, and therefore you start acting and behaving in a certain way because you are the emotion.
Yeah.
You are the emotion. You are one with the emotion. That's why by learning to see your emotion, learning to become detached from that and say, I'm aware of you and I'm looking at you, and I know that you are within me, but I know that you're not me.
Yes. You have a choice.
Then you have the control.
Yes.
And your emotion was pretty much, let's say, obey or will do as you wish.
Yes. And it is that choice then to choose whether to be happy or wallow in it.
Yes.
Which I sometimes choose to do.
Yes.
But I'm aware of it. Yeah.
We do encourage to do the recordings in this way rather than sitting that instrument in the way how you also been doing.
Yeah.
Because we can feel the build-up impression when she is up there, as she's feeling that of course she's gonna be watched by others.
Yeah.
This feels so natural for her because it's like a communication with you.
Yeah.
So that it becomes more informal, let's say. It feels more formal when she is sitting down out there. That's what we gather. That's what we can sense from her.
Yeah, I liked it's more of a discussion, a conversation that we're having, which is really nice.
We're not saying that it's wrong how you are doing it. That is amazing, and plus it has been great to show the process.
Yes.
But from now on, we can do a mix of both.
Yeah, that's great.
So you just have your questions as you wish, regardless of what it is. And you can have your recording however it is, and in any, let's say, position, whether it's sitting or whether it is how she is right now. I will look more casual or whatever, but now your audience that will come to you can see the process and can see how it was when she was starting, and it's been great of how you've been doing, and the idea that you have how to put that there, it is amazing. You are so connected to your being as well, that to be able to do these things, let's say, and to feel the courage and just feel so natural to do this. This instrument had some issues at the start, even to just being public, let's say. Just because of the different judgment that she was perceiving in a so-called future, let's say, from people around her or from people that know her. But at the same time, her desire to do this was stronger. So therefore, your support and your soul becoming one with her is been such an amazing help for her, as she has integrated with you.
Yeah,
and she's following you.
Yeah, I just do what I want, and I think she likes to be more like that too. So
because she can see, or she sees herself in you as the future her, as the being that she wants to be. So she's reflecting, let's say, or she used you as an example of the being that she wants to become. Because of your own nature. This is how you are. Let's say free and fearless. And she sees that in you. So going through the whole process and even putting in the so-called YouTube thing, it was for her a bit, let's say, shocking at the start, but she had to let go because she became or felt integrated with you, and now she's up, let's say, another level.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So get used to that, and yeah.
So now it's good to do in both ways. So then it's even easier for her, and also it would be such a great videos for the people that will be able to see this.
Yeah.
Because they will feel connected. They will feel that, hey, this is what I'm going through as well. Because channelers will also see your own channel, your channel, and people who are connecting to us, you know, the so-called extraterrestrials or aliens and angels and so there are people looking for help there, that they're looking for people that they can identify themselves with and say, I'm going through this too, but I'm nervous, but I'm afraid, or I'm not sure how others will react, and so. So there are a lot of entities at serving at the moment in your planet, and we are so delighted to see how much the word is spreading around your human species, and how people are becoming fearless of what others might say, and contributing to your society in that way, and waking up souls. And that's what you also are doing, my friend. And people who are, or people who we are also trying to get in touch with, because they are connected enough to the higher self, or they want to try this, let's say, they will be able to see the connection as well of you two and the process that you two have been going through.
Yeah, I hope it helps.
Because it's not only about Stephany being able to allow us through. It's not just about that, but it's also the teamwork and the effort that is been going on here. And you might think there are channelers who are doing this themselves, but they are as well a lot of your kind that they need support. And what we mean is doing in the way how you two are doing. Because a soul is stronger when it finds another soul that match. And they can do this together.
Yes.
So even just by looking the teamwork of two, they also will feel integrated with you too.
Yes. Yeah, I hope it helps a lot of people.
It will so with time. There is nothing to rush.
No.
And entities will come your way. And once they come, they will also stay. We're saying this also as a reassurance to this instrument who's been focusing on other things as well.
Yeah, sure. For me, I just put it up there, and I just think people will find it, and if they do, they do. If they don't, I'm not worrying and thinking about it. It's I just think it'll happen, and it's fine.
Yes, it will do so. Everyone has been through this process as well, since you have such technology, which of course is not as advanced as ours, but what we're trying to say that you all connected through the technology.
Yes.
But in reality, you all connected because you are one. And that's the thing as well that we will we have been trying to teach to your kind through different methods and through different channelers.
Yes.
Once you all wake up, you'll see how much you're connected, that the answers you're looking for will come to you, through you, and through all the beings, rather than the so-called technology.
Yes, that's what we want.
We know that at some point you might want to discuss that, if you decide so. I know that at the moment it's not a priority, and that there are other entities giving that kind of information too.
Yes.
There is no need to try to match up to others entities' work.
No.
Or trying to reassure what they're saying is true, let's say. There is no need to do so, but it is also open to anyone to ask anything as you wish. But what you ask, we will love if it's because you would like to know.
Yes.
And it's going to help your species to wake up.
Yes.
And just to spread
Yeah,
message?
I haven't asked because the focus at the moment is on ourselves, I think,
Yes.
as far as our own development, because people who are awakening like us will have to start somewhere, and it's for those who are interested to see what they can do to develop and advance their souls as it is, and the important things that people would need to know when they're just beginning to wake up. The other things, there are other people out there already talking about those, and I have concerns about it, and so I try to bring myself back to just focusing on myself for now, and other people would probably like to do the same thing. And the other thing is we're still trying to avoid specifics in the questions as well, that Stephany may have doubts about until she gets a bit further along, because there'll be things there that she doesn't have any idea about and may want to distort the message.
Do not feel concerned about your earth changes or the changes that the earth is going through, or the influence of the so-called negative entities, my friend. Because everyone has a choice, and this planet is such an amazing planet that is evolving in a rapid phase too, because of all the waking up that is happening.
Yes.
The decisions regarding the technologies, that is something that we cannot predict, but at the same time there is so much, or let's say so many beings that are waking up and deciding to follow the spiritual, if you want to call it, path.
Yes, and that's what I'd like to encourage, because personally I could reject things like technology implants and things, but it's the mass consciousness of the world, whether they accept it or reject it, that determines the path of the earth. And the more people who are awake and can see why that could be a problem, the better.
The earth has been through many changes, so many times, let's say. This will not be the first one where there is such a let's say concern, or putting our implication, but we're trying to find, let's say, this will not be the first time where you on human species are let's say concerned where the earth is going, or what is going to happen. You always also had this support from other beings, and it's also, let's say, a constant fight, not so-called fight, but let's say so.
Or struggle.
To be between us, of the entities of the love and light, between the negative entities. We let them be because they have chose that, but at the same time, as you know, we're always trying to protect all the beings, to allow them to have the free will. So we intervene when the other, let's say, side want to cross that free will. But also your own entities and other entities have the choice whether to accept or reject the negative side. And once they make the decision as well, we cannot cross that, because that will mean that we're infringing on their decisions, and that will be the opposite of what our law is.
Yes. Yeah.
So by having beings like you too, and that you're waking up about this and know the souls are, you therefore have decided to do the work to help your species, because you have the power to do so, because you are in the same in the same environment, using the same bodies.
Yes. So it's just a question of a decision by a consciousness that's asleep or awake, and if people really know why they're choosing it, then that's fine. You say, well, that's where humanity decided to go. But if it was because they were controlled or manipulated or duped or fooled into it, then that's a shame.
There are a lot of forces of the light working through that as well.
Okay.
And always preventing to go beyond, or let's say out of hand.
Yeah.
So there is no need to worry, my friend.
Okay.
As the Galactic Federation, we're always working towards the main, let's say, law that we have, that is that every entity has the free will to choose
Yeah, that's right.
what they would like to be.
Mm.
There are entities that have been lost in the way of experiencing in different places, galaxies, and even on Earth. They lost the way, and they have to redone the cycles, let's say, and start, let's say, again, because of so much negativity and so, you know. But once they have once they have chosen to come back to the light, or there being guidance around, like what you two are doing, you know, waking up something inside them, that has been enough to bring those people back to the light, even though it might take more than one life, regardless whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or couple of of lives, let's say, not just one. So it's just about, let's say, bringing those souls back if they decide so.
Yeah.
As well.
Okay.
Does this make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, so it could be a while then that we need it. I was hoping everyone would wake up within my lifetime.
There are not guidelines, let's say. A lot of your soul will wake up during this lifetime, because it is such a I was trying to find the word. It is such a special and controversial moment that is happening. That what we mean is that a lot of your kind has been sleeping throughout centuries, just focusing on one style of life, following rules, and so now your people are taking the power back and realizing who they are. So a lot of those souls have already waken up as well, and they are ascending already, and they have ascended as well. So during this time, I think this is the time that where we have seen more of your species coming back to us compared to others' lives on your earth.
Yeah. And the new children today are different?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Because they are awakened within themselves. What we mean is there's something inside them, in their DNA, let's say. Okay. That it would be easy for them to know this, let's say, to know about the true self. Doesn't mean that they all will be, or it doesn't mean that it would be let's say, easy, like they born and they know, and they just live through the love and the light at all times, because they still have parents that are not there. They still might be born in families where the religions are so strong, or their own thoughts about their own world and politics and so. But what it means is when it is activated, it will be so quick for them to know the true self.
Yeah, less resistance.
Yes.
To the ideas, and a lot more information now anyway than when I was growing up, because there was no internet, and you just come across it. This is the sort of information people will come across. I'm finding books that were written in the early 1900s that were saying a lot of these things, but they weren't in my circulation or library. Because
this is not new, my friend.
No.
They always have been, like your light workers working on your earth, and that's why you have signed up for this, to do it again. But because of the rules of different time on the earth, there were different what do you call now, government, let's say. But what it is people that govern she's trying to govern the earth, like when religion had a primary influence on people, or the monarchy, or a different periods of time. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So people have been influenced in different ways, and now it is, let's say, easier because people are accessing as well, and their own sometimes we have too much to say.
Yeah.
But the information is a bit too much and too fast that the words have to catch up.
Yeah, sure. It's okay. It's all going well.
Yes. So, compared to your time, let's say when you were born, and compared to now, and how the so-called internet has been an influence, and have made people unite in a way, but it can be used and distorted as well. The information was always there, and because of different belief of the time and different belief of how your own society was ruled, let's say, the information becomes more access of less access, but there is always something there for the ones who are seeking.
Yeah.
So let's say from what we're trying to gather, even from this instrument, even from her own life path, from that time, and even from yours, let's say people were so much focused on the life that they known as, like the study and just work and have the family, and that's it, and you go to your so-called church and whatever belief you have. So pretty much most of your kind just focus on that system and do not question that system. Do not go outside that box, and you can see that with a lot of your so-called elderlies right now. They're still focused on one mentality because there was not too much questioning going on. They just believe what they were told. But as your kind and other generations came along, they have more chance to wake up, and also they have also been helping to let's say, to bring up the information about all of us, and to rescue information that is being given so long ago but it's been forgotten, or people have not been interested because it didn't match that time. Does this make sense?
Yes, it does. Perfect sense.
Do you understand?
Yes, I understand perfectly.
Good.
It's very easy to understand.
Yeah. We're just doing this because we feel that she needed it.
Okay.
She asked once she says long time ago, but it is not long time ago for us. If she asks for us, and when she's eating, if we can enjoy what she's eating, or so if we can sense or feel the delight that she's feeling when she's eating something. And so we do if we want so.
Okay.
What we mean is we are here, for example, and she start eating something and she's enjoying that, doesn't mean that we can taste what she's feeling. What we can gather is the emotion she's getting from what she's eating.
Okay.
And the energy that is coming with that.
Happiness, usually, I say.
Yeah, she so much enjoy your food.
Yeah. It's good. This has been very interesting. I've learnt a lot just from this chat. A lot.
There's always something to say.
There is, and I always end up feeling really good.
My brother.
Yeah.
Whenever you need us, we're here.
Yeah.
Whether it is through this instrument or without this instrument.
Okay.
Just ask and it is given. But just ask and leave it there. What we mean is, do not put pressure on yourself to get answers or to listen to something or anything like that. Just ask.
Okay.
Because as you start asking more, you start believing more as well, that the answers will come.
Yes.
And this is what this instrument was trying to say to you at some point. Where what she does, whether she gets answer or not, she's even thinks that it does not matter. But what she does is just a way for her to prove that we are real. What she does is talk in third person. Like she says, we always hear when she says, "Good morning."
Yes.
Galactic Federation. And when she says, do you experience when I'm eating? Or things like that. It's just a way for her to tell herself that she is not crazy and that this is actually true. And that the universe, let's say, all of are connected and listening. By listening, we mean it's a frequency. And we are all connected in a way. Does not mean that we are physically here, as we have said, but we are all connected by who you are.
Yes.
Love and light.
Yes. I understand.
So if you have some sort of doubt, that's something that you could do. You don't need to talk to us directly, but just say something to yourself to reassure yourself that the answers are there.
Okay. I've started to feel a bit guided recently now too.
Because you are, my friend.
Yeah. Like guided to information,
and you are guiding in different ways when you are writing.
And my question, I'm feeling some guidance with the writing I'm doing for the questions and finding informations and ideas.
Because we are there, guiding, and that's one of the way. Another one, as we have said, could be your dreams too.
Yeah.
You know, but it just depends as well how much you allow. Would mean if you allow to believe that your dreams are telling you something and helping you something, then you would know that your higher self has been working with your guides to help you.
Yeah.
To see more than just a dream.
Yeah, I'm starting to expect it now with this guidance, in terms of guidance.
And also that could be to show you all this thing, and not always would be just to show you what's inside, or you know, just make you feel you got so much problem because you don't. It's just things that we can identify that might need a bit more of work than in some one way or the other could be shown. But also things like just feeling just contemplating who you are when you are, let's say, in the middle of nowhere and you're just feeling nothing. That could mean, you know, just be present. Just be present, or you being present and feeling what it feels, or just the feeling of feeling so peaceful, feeling love or happy, or even if you've been a bit worried about something as well, you know. So just being open up to your dreams.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if I was worried about something and it was showing up in a dream, that's more obvious because you can find it straight away. But the thing you're saying was about being...
Your emotion.
The emotion and letting that go, healing it. Not to say, oh, that was there, now I feel like that all day because, yeah, it's just thrown in my face, my worry. But actually, I have a choice to work through that and release it.
Yes. When it is shown something, it's for you to decide something.
Yeah, that's useful.
Yes. She had asked for things in dreams to help her growth, and things had been shown, but she has done nothing about it.
I don't know what that was.
It's okay. Just grab her attention.
I have no idea what that was.
That's okay. We are still able to communicate when her eyes are open, but because we know how distracted she is, we prefer to keep her with her eyes closed.
Sure. That's okay.
She's very what's the word? She's saying unfocused. Yeah, she takes a bit of time to focus or to release, and she's very distracting in most of the things she does.
Yes.
Distracted. So her mind wanders, and so as herself. It is, let's say, as a 5 years old in your
She daydreams.
yes, in your planet.
Yes.
She found it hard to be an adult and to be serious, and I think it might take a couple of more life to reach that expectation.
There's no hurry for that.
There is no. She does not want to be boring, and she kind of relates adulthood with boredom. In a way, she's not saying that all the adults are bored or boring, but for her own self, if she tries to be, let's say, more mature or speak in a way that she seems adult and like that, she found that is hard and boring for her, because she wants to be who she truly is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So being with you, she feels she can be as silly as she wants when she feels like it.
Yeah.
She also likes to contemplate around, to look around. She likes a lot to also talk to her own self, regardless whether she is talking to other entities or us or anyone. Just by talking to herself, and it does help her. And that's something that she has done. She's been a child, just talk. It's like what your human does. They think in their mind. She kind of relate that by talking as well.
Yeah.
So do not feel frightened if you ever see her acting.
No.
Like
That's
talking,
just
let's
her.
say.
She's free to do that, and she should, whenever she wants. She shouldn't be afraid of me. I'm silly too. For an adult.
Yes.
At times.
Yes. But she values that of you, because she can see more than a child. She cannot see more than a child of her own self, you know. She found it hard to see herself as an educated, even person in your time, even though she wants that inside. But at the same time, she feels that she just wants to be this child, and by having you around, she have different perspective of what she likes of a human being, or what she feels what a human being should be. Silly and cheerful and a child, but also have your so-called knowledge of different areas and different interests, and speak as what she's saying, and speak according to the situation where you are in, and so easy going in that way, and we're just trying to find the words. So there are a lot of aspects that she can learn and see from you, but that she cannot see in herself.
Right.
And she would like to be able to be as flexible as you are, let's say. But everything is just a progress.
Yeah. So,
And there is no wrong or right.
no. Does Stephany have any questions?
No, she's fine for now.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions?
No, I'm just been fascinated and taking all of that in. It's all been so interesting. I'll be having more though soon. The more I think about these, and I'll be doing something about my dreams as well.
That's okay, my friend.
Yeah.
We're just here to help.
Yeah.
And if you ever feel that you have misunderstood or we were not clear enough, we're here to clarify.
Yeah.
As a lot of, let's say, impulses of energies, or however you want to say it, are sent to these instruments, and the words that are coming through are trying to catch up to that. But sometimes it can get a little bit hard. Not because of just her vocabulary, but also because at times she is aware of what's coming next, let's say, because she can hear it first. But with time, we try not to do so. We are trying her not to be able to hear anything before it comes through. But as her own mouth even move, she sort of can sense what's coming next.
Yeah, but everything was clear to me, and I'm used to the way she speaks and all of that. So it's all perfectly clear to me. So, I'll listen again on the recording, and I can hear it back. But if there's anything I'd like clarifying, I'll surely ask. It's so easy to do.
Well, her frequency it's enough to be able. Let's say. What we are, the light, if we want to put in simple words, even for her. Imagine like a light with so much power and energy, and the frequency is higher. So trying to match or catch, let's say, we need to match with her own energy and frequency, and send the impulses or send the energies, right, to be able to come through. So when she's being a bit negative, and so we have to somehow, let's say, be able to send that, which is fine, but at the same time try not to be too strong, because as the body is used to one kind of, let's say, energy around, and so we do not wish to somehow cause some sort of harm within her physical body or in her own frequency. So sometimes it could be hard if she is if she's not feeling well enough.
So the higher, the better.
Yes, and she knows that when she's like that, we usually not around. Well, we mean that we are around because we always looking after each of you, let's say. And we are around, our energy are around, but we just sort of give space because we just, let's say she's up here, her energy, we usually up there, let's say we match, and she usually is up here, let's say, so we just bring ours a little bit back, a little bit forward, and we just match. But if she's up here, then we just might come a little bit close to her, just, let's say, being around, but we're not gonna match her frequency. We just let her be, and let her choice being to bring herself back and match with ours. And that goes for you and for anyone.
Yeah. So being happy. So things like thinking about frequencies, appreciation and gratitude, they're very high as well.
Yes, my friend.
Are they higher than love?
You are a being of love and light. So what we mean is that you are love. So when you feel in love, you become in one with yourself.
Right.
That is sort of the love is projecting from you because you are love.
Yes.
And happiness and gratitude and all of that, let's say, is a result of the being that you are, the love that you are.
Right.
It's another, let's say, way of expressing your own self.
But they're high frequency vibrations.
They are.
Those emotions, yeah.
Because remember, it's have an effect on the emotion and on your heart.
Okay.
And your heart is full of love. Because that's what you are.
Okay.
So just feel any of those emotions. We know that there is a so-called scale that it has been drawn and given by many of your own people and by many of the light workers and all the beings, and they do make sense as well, and they fine and they correct, but it does not matter so much of which one is higher or lower, as long as the emotion is the emotion of light and love.
Right.
Because that's who you are. And therefore, when you know that that's who you are and you're feeling any of those things, because you being your true self, your energy does expand.
Right.
A lot of your kind trying to force things to happen. Like, let's say if love is there, and then you say, but gratitude should be stronger and should increase my energy more. Therefore, they would be feeling gratitude in some way, but they're forcing themselves to say orally, I'm so grateful for this, I'm so grateful for that, I'm so grateful for that. But because
I've done that.
Yeah, but because there is the pressure to trying to do that, therefore it kind of can build something against.
Yeah.
Because they're not saying it because they want truly to say it, but just because they want to go up level.
Yes, I understand.
So just become present and see what you're feeling, and you can bring yourself up remembering even all those great experiences that you have had and where you feel so much love and light. By that we means all those positive emotions that you call, happiness, gratitude, love, and etc.
Okay, we'll do that. That'll make the communication much easier.
Yes. And trust.
And trust. And Stephany can dance and sing. She loves those things.
She does it anyway. Whether it's outside or within.
Yeah.
It's all good, my friend. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
If we do not have more questions, we leave you now.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for everything. And I was just going to say, I hope you have a good night, but I don't know what to say. And enjoy. Have fun.
We can have if we want to create.
Okay. Oh, well, should you wish to, have a good night.
We can experience your own reality in a way.
Okay.
Because we are connected.
Yeah.
And if we wish, we are not saying that we just come in your bodies and experiencing, but by you experiencing what you are in a way, we are also doing so.
Okay. Great. We'll try and have a good night for you, so we'll all enjoy it.
Yes, it is just an energetic, let's say, it's just an energy.
Okay.
And we can, let's say, to try to make an image of it, let's say we can observe your reality and see what you are experiencing. If we wish to do so.
Okay. All right, thanks, and we'll talk again very soon.
Thank you, my friend. We love you so much.
We love you.
And we
too.
love Stephany too.
Yeah, we love you too.
You are one, and so you are with us too. We live in the love and the light of the one creator where you are from.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Stephany.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.